Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Rose from Grandma Rose's Open Pantry, and I hope y'all had a good weekend. We did. We were in church almost all day yesterday, and when we do that on Sundays, that's always a good weekend. We try to give our Sundays to the Lord. And today we are going to do, I think it's called a Cinnabon Cake, and it's low carb. I'm using almond flour, coconut flour, swerve, brown sugar swerve. So there will be no sugar and no flour. This is totally gluten-free and low carb. My knife only has butter on it. I'm going to be using it in a little bit. Okay. We're going to start with, I got to get my recipe. We're starting with, now this is 1 cup of almond flour. And I don't think it's super fine. I just think it's fine. It's almond flour. 1/4 cup of coconut flour. And coconut flour is just going to give it stability. Almond flour is, you use coconut flour with almond flour a lot of times to give it some stability because your coconut flour absorbs moisture more than your almond flour does. All right. Now to this, we're adding 1/4 cup of melted coconut oil, and this is my coconut oil. As you can see, some of it is solid because some of it's melted because I put it in the microwave to melt it a little bit. And I'm going to give this a little stir. And then to this, we're going to add 1/4 cup of sour cream. And I just use regular sour cream, no low fat, nothing like that. Just regular sour cream. Okay, now this is going to be a really, really thick batter, but I'm telling you, the girl I saw make it Saturday, man, it looked so good. Her husband tasted of it, and he said that it was really, really good. See, you couldn't tell it was low carb, so we're going to see. All right, now to that, I've got 1/4 cup somewhere of my hold on, baby. I got to get another. I'll just use the same one that I used for my oil. I didn't get my my sweetener. Hold on just a minute. Let me get my sweetener.
That is thick.
It's going to be thicker than this. And it only uses 1/4 cup of your sweetener in this particular part of it. It's going to be kind of, you're going to make it kind of like you do a cinnamon roll. You're going to have your base. Then you're going to have a cinnamon layer. Now this is 1/4 cup of swerve. And I'm just going to use my hands to get it all out because that had had oil in it, coconut oil. Okay. Now, it's really thick. It was with her. I mean, she kept saying that this is supposed to be a thick batter. So, all right. Now, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. But before I do that, I'm going to do a teaspoon of baking powder. I think that's what it calls for. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, then my teaspoon of vanilla with a little more. That's about 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay. Now, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And this is pink Himalayan salt. And 2 eggs. And I took my eggs straight out of the refrigerator. So I had to put them in hot water to warm them. Okay. That's 1 egg. And 2 eggs. Okay. Now I'm fixing to mix it up. We're going to see how this goes. I hope it turns out good, because I think I got everything in it. And it's going to make kind of like a dough. Or that's the way hers did anyway. Hopefully mine's going to be the same way. But right now it looks like mine's a little bit thinner than hers was. So we're going to see how this works. Okay. We'll just keep mixing it because I want to mix all that flour and all my swerve together. Now, let me see if I've missed anything, because mine does not look like hers did. Let's see. Cup of almond flour, 4th cup coconut, 4th cup of coconut oil, 4th cup of sour cream, 4th cup of granulated sweetener, 2 eggs, vanilla. Okay. That's the way. Well, maybe mine's going to be better than hers was. So.
There's another way it could go too.
Yeah, there is. We might not ever post this video if it doesn't turn out. No, if it doesn't turn out, I'll post it and I'll tell you it did not work. So, all right. Hers was really thick. Maybe that's what she calls a thick batter. I guess so. Anyway.
I think it looks thick enough to me.
Yeah, you know, on TV screens, you really can't see what it really looks like. All right. We put this, now I sprayed, this is an 8x8, and I sprayed it really well. And we're just going to press it out in the bottom of this pan and the bottom of my dish. It's supposed to be like I'm not going to put that in there.
Nope, because it didn't mix in.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hope it doesn't ruin my whole thing. All right. Yeah, this is kind of like, yeah, this is like hers looked. Now, we're just going to press this out like you would if you were doing some kind of crust or something. This is your base layer right here. All right. And you get it as even as you can. Oh, yeah, this is looking good. It takes that coconut flour a minute to start absorbing that the moisture that's in it, and it's getting thicker as it's sitting here. So, okay. All right. Now, that looks good. Looks just like hers did.
Yep.
All right. Except I'm going to get some more of this dough out, because if it's as good as what hers looked, then I don't want to leave any of it in the pan. Okay. Now, to this, I'm going to put all this aside. Now, and I'm going to put this right here. We're fixing to do our cinnamon layer. And I've got 6 tablespoons of butter melted that I'm going to put in there. All right. 1/2 cup. This is brown sugar swerve right here. So I'm going to put that in there and stir it around. Okay. Now, I'm making a mess. All right. Now it calls for 1 tablespoon of almond flour. Okay. 1 tablespoon of almond flour and 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. I've got my almond flour already in here, and I've got my tablespoon of cinnamon already in. So I'm just going to put it in this bowl. And I do not know why the almond flour is in there. I couldn't figure it out, but that's what the recipe calls for. And I'll try it like that this time. And if it doesn't work, then I'll do something and I'll leave it out next time or whatever. Now, what you're supposed to do is when you get this mixed up really well, like that, you just pour it over this layer right here, like this. Get to the side, kind of. All right. Get all of it out that you can. Now, you take your knife that I already cut butter with, and you spread it out all the way to the sides. This looks good, y'all. I hope it tastes as well as it looks. I think that is good as it looks. Yeah, as good as it looks. All right, now, the next step, you just take your knife and you kind of go around like this.
Cutting little tracks in it.
Yep, because you want that
swirly look.
You want that swirly look. Kind of like a cinnamon roll.
Some of that stirred down in there.
Yep.
Okay.
Kind of like a cinnamon bun has.
All right.
Okay. And you get it on the sides now. Like that. Okay. Now you just smooth it back out. And she said it's supposed to look lumpy. It looks lumpy. And she said that's the way it's supposed to look. So, and mine looks lumpy. So I guess I guess I'm doing it right. So, all right. Let me smooth it a little bit more. But we're going to put a little icing on it, so it doesn't matter if it's not real smooth. All right. Now, I'm going to put this on.
I like it better with the tracks in it than smooth.
Well, when it gets done, the tracks wouldn't have been there anyway.
Oh, so. Okay.
Okay. Y'all have noticed Roy's always got an opinion. Sorry, baby.
You know you got the advantage on me. Sorry, because you're in front of the camera.
That's right. That's right.
Go for it while you can.
Okay. We're going to put this in a 350-degree oven for 30 minutes. And then just before it gets done, I'm going to come back and show you how I'm going to make the icing. See y'all in a few minutes.
Okay.
All right. We're fixing to make our topping. I've got 17 minutes left, but I'm going to go ahead and make this. This is 2 ounces of cream cheese. I put it in the microwave and really softened it really well. You can just leave it sitting out on your counter, but I find out that it never gets soft enough like that. Now, this is 2 ounces of heavy cream. And I'm putting this in here because I just want this to be like a glaze. I don't want it to be an icing or a frosting. All right. Now to this, I am going to add a little bit of vanilla, about a teaspoon of vanilla, and stir that up. All right, I'm going to have to get a whisk. Thought I could do it with a fork, but I can't. Because it's got to be really, really smooth. I know what happened. I didn't warm my cream. You know, I have cautioned y'all over and over and over. Never put cold in sour cream because it will lump it. Well, guess what I just did? I just put cold cream in my really softened cream cheese. And I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get it out. If not, we're going to eat lumpy icing. It's really hard. Once you do that, it's hard to get it to get the lumps out. I'm putting 1 tablespoon of my King Arthur baking sugar. It's the confectionate kind, the powdered kind. Okay. I'm gonna really beat this. Okay. May have a few. Oh, I think I'm about to get it. Okay, I think I got it, y'all. This is about the consistency you want right here to pour over your, I'm going to taste of it, see how it tastes. Ooh, that's good. I'm going to put a little bit more sweetener, about a 1/2 tablespoon. So that was 1.5 tablespoons of sweetener. But you really don't want this real sweet because you got all of your sweetener in your cinnamon layer and in your base layer, your cake layer. Okay, y'all, it's just as smooth as it can be. But that was a miracle because usually it's not that easy to get your lumps out. So, but I think what my cream cheese was really warm where I had melted it in the microwave. Okay, we're ready. As soon as my cinnamon cake gets ready, then we're going to put our little glaze on it and we're going to taste of it, and I'm going to show you how it tastes. We're going to give you the real where it does or where it doesn't, where it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So be back in a minute.
That looks good.
Okay, it's cooked 30 minutes, y'all, and I got my little toothpick right here, and it comes out clean. Now, if you stick it in, this has been out for like 12 minutes because I've been letting it cool just a little bit. But if you stick it in when you first take it out of the oven, you may have a little bit of liquid on your toothpick, but that is from your cinnamon layer. But if you go all the way down, you may have a few crumbs, like this one's got a teeny bit, but it's not from the cake. The cake is done. All right, now before I'm gonna go ahead and ice this. Now, you just spread it, and you do it while the cake is still warm, because you want it to melt just a little bit, and not a whole lot, but it makes it so good when it melts. And mine still made me a little bit too warm, but that's okay. It's sure gonna be good. I hope it's good. Let me put it that way. It looks scrumptious. It looks delicious. Okay. Yep, my cake is still warm, but all right, I'm gonna get my spatula because I want to get all this goodie off of here. Every bit of it. And then I got a couple of things I want to show y'all. And a lot of these are not that I share with y'all. Some of them are my ideas. Some of them are Roy's, but some of them I just get off YouTube, or you know how when you're on Facebook or YouTube, stuff just pops up on your screen? Well, the other day there was this one about hacks, different hacks that you could do. And so a lot of times I don't watch them, but I did this one because some of it was kitchen things. And I thought, ooh, that'll be good. I'm going to try that one. The first one is this. Let me wipe my finger.
Looks like a pint jar to me.
This is a pint jar. This is a Parmesan cheese lid. Fits perfectly, perfect on a mason jar. You have both your sides. You have your sprinkle side. You have your open side there. So I have been saving one of those plastic Parmesan cheese containers to put something in. And when I saw this, I took the lid off, threw the bottom away, and now I've got my mason jar that I'm going to put whatever I'm going to put in it. Okay, now another one is,
I think it's excellent for capturing lightning bugs with the grandkids myself.
It would be.
You can flip the top up, put them in, and keep going.
Yes, it would be perfect. Now, another one, and a lot of you may know this. When I started to get my granulated sweetener out of my jar earlier, it was lumpy. And I had to really work to get 1/4 of a cup that wasn't lumpy. So my little trusted food processor here that I've had for 20 years, and my daughter had it for 20 years before that. I don't even know. It's a JERGO name brand. So this is probably, and her mother-in-law gave it to her, so it's probably 50 years old or older.
Comes from the earlier part of the previous century.
Right. But I love it. I use it all the time. So what I did, now I'm telling you, my granulated, it was really lumpy. So I took it and I put it in my little food processor and I processed it. I got all the lumps out that I could. And then I took a strainer and I strained it, and all those really hard lumps that wouldn't come out, which was very, very, maybe a tablespoon in the whole thing, I just threw them in the trash because they're not gonna, you can't, they're so hard. It's like sugar. Sometimes they're so hard you can't crush them out. So those you just throw away. Now, that's my second little hack. I call it a hack this morning. For lumps in your sugar or your sweetener. Okay, now back to our Cinnabon low carb. I got this from, I wrote her name down. It's called CJ's Keto Kitchen. She does, her whole channel is keto. Her whole channel is keto, and she does a lot of desserts. She does food. I follow her, or I'm subscribed to her channel because sometimes there's things on there like this that I want to try and I think will really be good. But y'all know I'm not keto. My lifestyle, my culture, my eating habit is not keto. But if I can find a really good keto or low carb dessert that we really like, then I'm going to try it. So, and my little thing here, this was my mama's. Y'all will hear me say this was my mama's, but it's got a wood handle. I've never seen one like it.
It's 100 years old too.
Oh yeah, it's got a sharp edge on it here, and then it's got a flat edge over here. So I use it for cutting pies a lot of times. I use it for cutting casseroles. And if you're a piece of cake or whatever, I don't cut a cake with it, but sometimes I'll use it because it's not as wide as your pie servers. So I'm going to cut this. And now I'm going to try to get it out without tearing it up. You know, the first piece always tears up, always. And what CJ did, that ain't real pretty, y'all, but what she did, she put a piece of parchment paper in hers, pulled the parchment paper out, and then sliced it. I'm not going to do all that because this is just for me and Roy.
I don't mind it being crumbly as long as it's good.
I'm not going to all that trouble.
Well, now, if you were presenting it to company, you would.
Oh yeah, and if I was making this for company, yes, I would put the parchment paper in it, and then when it got done, take it out, peel the parchment paper back, and it would slice easy.
Y'all can safely assume that she does not treat me as company.
Of course not. We've been married 58 years, almost.
58 years to the same woman.
Oh my.
Send cards and letters.
Condolences.
Yeah, to Roy.
Condolences. Wow, y'all. It's a little crumbly, but I don't think it will be when it gets done. I'm funny about desserts with almond flour and coconut flour because I'm a real texture person. But this one is really good. And I would tell y'all if it weren't. The texture on this one doesn't bother me.
Is the seasoning right?
Honey, I'm going to let you taste it out. That was good. Do you mind being on camera?
No, I don't.
Roy's been outside this morning.
I'll just let you film me from the back.
No. Let me get over here. That light
looks
is so
good.
bright. Okay. Now then.
Mm.
It's good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
You can tell it's not wheat flour, but by the texture of it, it's not a cakey like. It's more like a cinnamon roll. So okay,
Well, you're not going to get sugar
no,
desserts with sugar sweeteners. I mean,
no. Oh, and two, I meant to tell y'all that I said King Arts the baking sugar. That's the sugar alternative. It's not real sugar. It's your natural sugar alternative. So Roy pointed that out to me after I got off camera. He said, "Honey, that wasn't sugar." I said, "No," and I didn't clarify that.
That's an advertising trick to call it sugar when it's not really sugar.
Yeah.
But
all right,
that's a great sweetener dessert.
Yeah, and I use swerve, brown sugar swerve, and granulated swerve. Well, he finished it up, so it must have been okay.
Yeah, I could eat more of that with some coffee.
A cup of coffee? That's what we'll use it for. We'll use it for breakfast, or like a coffee cake.
Yep.
So, all right. Let me move my thing here. Thank y'all for joining me this morning. Hit that subscribe button and share this video, because there may be some out there that really wants to learn how to make it. I love y'all. Deliciousness back in healthy food. Food feeds the family, family feeds the heart, God feeds the soul. Love y'all.